Well, happy Sunday night, friends. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I'm Tom Fischer, host of Bourbon Blog Live, and it's my good friend, Kellie Shevlin. She is the founder and the director of one of our favorite conferences, expos. It's the Craft Beverage Expo and Distribution Conference. How's it going tonight, Kellie?
It is going great on this Thanksgiving Sunday. How could it go wrong? We're having the most perfect weather in the world, and I'm having a little Starlight Distillery gin.
So you're having a little gin cocktail there with the Starlight Distillery. I'm having an old fashioned. I've met so many amazing people at your expo over the years. It started off in California. Was it 7 years ago?
This is our 7th year, which is unbelievable.
Amazing. So we spent some time with you in Northern California. Then a couple years ago, you came to Louisville, Kentucky, which was also amazing. And for the first time ever, it's your very first virtual expo, and we all understand that so many expos have gone virtual this year. Tell us about what is the Craft Beverage Expo and what's it looking like this week?
So we're actually really proud of the virtual platform that we picked and what we're putting together for everybody. We're using something called SwapCard, and it's a very sophisticated software system that will allow our attendees to interact with each other, with our vendors to interact with each other, and it allows for real-time interaction and content to be for the duration of the conference.
Right.
So a lot of what you've been seeing, a lot of people have done these virtual events where it's all taped and you listen to it and you don't get to interact or be part of the event. With SwapCard, it'll be almost like you're in person, being able to talk to and be part of everything that we're doing.
So, because usually we're going around, we're meeting all kinds of distillers, people that, and again, this is very industry driven, but there's so many people, wine, beer, spirits, all types of liquor. This really is the only craft beverage expo that handles all craft beverages, from beer, wine, spirits to everything, isn't it?
We are, yeah. So that was sort of how we came together 7 years ago, was that we wanted to bring together beer, wine, spirits, cider, sake, mead, and kind of have everybody come together for 2 days to talk about what you have in common and how do you move the market forward.
Right.
We always say, go to your industry event, but we want to be the second event that you go to.
And while I see a number of great live viewers, make sure you check this link out here in a little while. Craft Beverage Expo. There's something for everybody, and I know you have a very special code that's going to give $25 off. I'll go ahead and put that up there. It's Cyber for Cyber Monday. But even if you just want to come in and check it out just for a little while, there are some elements of this conference that are totally free, right?
Yeah, so if you want to do all the sessions, which I highly recommend because we've got really great speakers and the content is fantastic, for $99, you get 2 full days of programming plus keynotes, networking events, and Irish trivia. But and you use the code CYBER, and you'll be able to get $25 off of that. So you're looking at a $74 for 2 full days of content and programming. But if you don't want to pay, you can still see our exhibitors in the floor in our platform, and you can still go to our keynote. And we have the world's greatest Irish trivia bar master. Like, we're going to have a real pub experience here and real Irish trivia and a $500 gift card courtesy of the Craft Wine Association, who is sponsoring the event.
That is incredible. And your speakers are always just amazing. I mean, the people that I've seen in the past, we're talking about some of the best winemakers, distillers, the number of people we've seen in the past from the industry, from all elements, whether it's wine, beer. These are people that you don't see at just every conference. Who do you have lined up for this week? So
what we're doing, just to give you a heads up on how we're going to work 2021, is that instead of doing one long virtual event where you're going to sit here for 4 days getting all this content, we're doing 3 smaller ones, because no one wants to sit in front of your computer all day long for 3 days or 4 days. So what we're doing is we're basically doing an event this week on Wednesday, Thursday from 11 to 4. So you're going to pop in, get all this content, and be able to go about your day. And we're doing that 3 times. So we're going to have all of these great speakers spread out between this week in December, March, and June. And then we're going to go live, hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to go live in Louisville, October 20th, 2021.
Amazing.
So our big speaker this year, our keynote speaker, our opening keynote is Rosen, who's going to talk about what do we need to do in 2021 moving forward? Because we're all tired of looking back. We're all tired of talking about what 2020 was. But now, what do we need to do, particularly on-premise, off-premise, and your e-commerce platform? And then our closing, which I'm really thrilled with, is Natalie Chiruzzo, co-founder of Russian River in Santa Rosa, California, one of the top premier craft beer breweries probably in the world.
Wow. And again, I think it's so important for people if they're in the industry, and also just other businesses. I mean, people have come to this conference that I've met in the past from other arenas, other industries, and they've really gotten so much out of this. I know I have, and these are speakers that, again, they don't appear at just every expo. They're very unique. And I'll tell you, the other thing I really enjoyed last year for the first time was that women in craft, some amazing women that you brought together. And there were other men in the room too that enjoyed watching it, but I can't tell you how much I just got out of that, just being a part of that. It was incredible.
That was our first year doing Women in Craft, and we'll be doing that again in April. So hopefully we'll be talking, we maybe bring on some of our Women in Craft speakers and do this again in April with you. But that was the first year that we did it, and it was an absolute success. We were so proud of it. We'll be doing it again. Last year, Rhonda Kalman was our keynote speaker. We had Ginger Johnson. We had Women in Bourbon. We had Peggy Noe Stevens as our MC. Like, it could not have been a more special, intimate, and emotional experience for everybody that went to the event. So I'm very proud of it, and I can't wait to do it again.
It's always a good time, and it's something, there's nothing like it in the whole industry. And I really encourage you to go on this website, craftbeverageexpo.com, enter that promo code CYBER for $25 off. Check out all these sessions. It's Wednesday and Thursday of this week. But if you just want to check out the expo, the virtual expo, you just register, and it's completely free to go in and check out the expo, right?
It's completely free for producers. For
producers, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
And they're going to be able. What kinds of things will they see at the expo?
We got Amram Cork, we got Prospero, we've got about 25 different exhibitors. We're going to have different exhibitors or different vendors at each different session. So the people that you see here, there'll be different people in March and then different people in June. But anything that you need to make your production or your marketing or your point of sale, all of those companies, anything that you need to make your business go.
Excellent. And also for producers as well, whether you're going into the expo or you're going into see the speakers, a really dynamic chance to, I mean, one of the other great parts about this, and I would imagine even virtually, there's really a great opportunity to network in the industry.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's really, at the end of the day, that's the saddest part about not being live is that serendipitous thing that happens when you're at an event, you bump into somebody in the elevator or you bump into somebody, on the floor. I can tell you that I've known Rhonda Kalman for 6 years now because I bumped into her at a super shuttle at one of the ADIs I went to way back when. So that's how friendships and relationships start. But I think that with the platform that we're using with SwapCard, that there will be an ability for people to have some serendipitous moments where they can bump into someone that they probably don't know. But we're really trying to just create a bunch of content to get us to the live event in October. Like for us, we want you guys, we want producers to come to us and say, I need to get some education. We're going to get it here. And then we'll all come together again in Louisville in October of 2021.
And again, we're really looking forward to that. But by then, I'm sure we'll all be able to be together as you planned. Yes, we really do hope so. Will it be at the same place it's always been there?
Well, we're growing a little. We've been at the Omni Hotel for the last 2 years. So we are actually going to be at the Kick Center. We'll have the Hyatt as our host hotel, and we'll be, we just signed the contract. We'll be at the Convention Center.
Amazing. It continues to grow. I'm so proud of you. We've been watching this grow almost since your very beginning when I first met you. I know I met you in Louisville at one of the other conferences, and our buddy Brad introduced us there, and we're so glad to have followed you and covered you on Bourbon Blog for all these years. It's exciting to see how much it's grown. As you've planned your conference out for virtual, What types of things will these speakers be speaking about? I mean, will they be really addressing kind of what's going on in the world and what we have to look forward to? What will they be talking about?
Oh, absolutely. For our show, we're once you're in a Tinker Barrel, now what? So that's why we really talk about the distribution piece of it, the marketing, the sales, how do you actually get this bottle of whatever it is, beer, wine, spirit, sake, cider, mead, into the hand of a consumer. And a lot of that's changed. But, with COVID, a lot of that has changed for the better, because now it's a lot easier, because now you've got your Drizzlies and you've got all of your restaurants able to deliver. So it hasn't been good for business, but it has been easier to get alcohol into the hands of people. And that's actually one of those things that we're going to talk about, like how did it change, and what can you learn to get more information so that your business can grow in spite of what's been going on.
Right, because in some ways, we obviously all want to be out of this pandemic, but there are some positives that have happened for the liquor industry the last 8-9 months.
Yeah, and and one of the big questions is, is it going to go backwards? And a lot of the experts don't think it's going to go backwards. We've gone too far. Once for 9 to 10 months, once we're getting used to having people deliver alcohol to our house, you can't just make that go away.
Have you had
how do producers
Yep.
who made so much of their money in their tasting rooms, like how do they adapt to shifting from tasting room to getting into the hands of the producers, into their consumers' hands? Where else can you do it when you make all your money in your tasting room?
It's so important, and we're doing all we can on bourbonblog.com to support those craft producers, distillers. We've had a number of them on almost nightly now for the last 8 or 9 months. We've been doing this show, and we're so glad that a lot of you, I see a lot of the folks watching. Again, if you have any questions for Kellie, ask them down below, and make sure you also follow us on bourbonblog.com/live, or the Twitter, YouTube channel you're watching us on. We're streaming live on about 8 channels right now, so that's awesome that all of you are watching. Ask Kellie those questions, like and share this video. We're doing all we can to support local, support craft. There will be, though, obviously some challenges. I mean, obviously we all want to keep on supporting craft, and we will, but there will be some challenges facing craft from this pandemic. Those will be addressed this week too, won't they?
Oh, absolutely. So just to let you know, like some of the things that we're talking about are, is your brand ready for investment? So when do you know that you're going to need that money to come in to grow what you're doing? Business of relationships and prospecting, DIY media outreach. How do you get the media that you need when you don't have the PR company that you need to have? Designing the ideal brand for your target consumer. Like this is all the business piece of it that you need to know, that you don't necessarily get just sitting in your, Googling, how do I get this to my consumer? Nobody has gone live. There's been not a lot of education. One of the worst things that we have found, and one of the things that what we're trying to do as an organization, is so many of the distillery guilds and the brewery guilds are defunct because they had to let everybody go. So what we want to do is we want to sort of be the educational arm for these small groups that don't have the resources right now to send this information out. So what we're doing is, while we're doing these 3 events that cost $99 per event, when we're not doing these events, we are going to be partnering with the Craft Wine Association and other organizations. We're going to be some of the distilling guilds. We're working with one of the universities. What we want to do is we're going to have free content every month. So in December, we're going to be doing this event, and then January, February, we're going to do free content those months. And then March, we'll have our $99 content. And then April, May, free content. So there will be a constant burst of free content coming from our Craft Beverage Expo through the swap card platform that people can register and get this whole time. And then we'll have all of this information online for people to take a look at it.
Incredible. You're doing such a great thing there. What's it been like? I think that, no matter what industry, and you're watching this, hopefully and I do see quite a few of our distiller friends watching this and sharing this, but no matter what industry you're in, you have to be wondering, what's it like to plan a virtual conference? What has that been like for you? Because you were really, I know you were very hopeful that it would be, the December would come and we could do this. And we all want to be hopeful. And I'm glad that you stuck in there with it thinking, but you had kind of this backup plan of going virtual. What was that like?
So when we first picked our event this year, we were supposed to be in September. We were going to be partnering with the KDA and with Bourbon and Beyond, and we were supposed to be that week of September where everything happens, and we were just going to be part of the big fun that was going on in September.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we had to change those dates very quickly because it became apparent that September was not going to work.
Right.
So then we figured, okay, it's July, August, we can make it till December. We really, truly thought we were going to make it December. We really thought we were going to be live. And it's funny because the exhibitors wanted to be live. We were selling great. We had got a lot of booths sold. We had people registering to come live. But we had to make that decision in October. And it was a sad decision. But by October, we realized that there was no way that Louisville was going to be in a place where we could bring in 800 plus people and have an event, that the kind of event that it would mean something for people to attend.
Right.
So it broke our heart. I got my team. I should have brought one of these down. I got my team these wine glasses, and there's 3 lines on it. And one line says in person, and it's down here. And then the second one is hybrid, and the third one is way up here, and it says virtual. And I can guarantee you that we've all been drinking up to the third line because virtual's tough. People don't want to sit in front of their computer. It's not how business is done. But I guarantee you, if you decide to sit in front of your computer, you're going to learn a lot of stuff that will move your business forward.
Right. I think it's wonderful what you've done. The fact that you've hung in there and that you've been able to make this a virtual conference. And again, it happens this week. Again, if you're in any element of the beverage business, especially craft beverages, beer, wine, meads, cider, sake, spirits. I like how you've always included all of them. I mean, that's the really cool thing, because there's been so much that I've learned about other areas like mead, like beer, by attending this conference. You got to go to this website and check it out, or let your friends know if they're in that business. Give them that link, because there's so many great opportunities. And before you created this conference, there really wasn't this spot being fulfilled in craft beverages. What actually originally 7 years ago inspired you to put this thing together? So
I came up with the idea. I was working in the trade show industry, and I was also working for some wine organizations. That's my background was in wine. I got my WSET level 3 and 2 and my CSW and all that fun wine stuff. And I was looking to see where the intersection of wine, beer, and spirits on the business side, who was looking in at that, and nobody was. Because at the time, it was very, very vertical. All of the wine shows, all the wine events were run by wine associations or wine magazines. And then you had, at the time when I started, ACSA wasn't even anything. It was just ADI doing all of the distilled spirit stuff. And then you had craft brewers just doing beer. And I was like, you know what? There's a lot of things that if we cross-pollinate, that they can learn from each other. One of my favorite stories is I was at my first ADI in Denver, and a distiller, I can't remember his name, I wish I could remember his name, came up to me and he's like, look, this is what you've got. You've got the wine industry, and they're grandma and grandpa right now. They're old, they're established, they've got their 401k, they're living in their house, it's paid off. And then you've got the beer industry, and they're 35 years old, and they're ready for their parents to leave them their wealth. And then you've got distilled spirits, and they're like 10, 12 years old, and they're kicking people in the shin, like they're ready to go, but they don't have the time or the luxury yet. And they're and then you've got cider and sake and mead, and they're barely taking their steps. They're barely taking their first steps. And this is, the entire industry. But if you look at it, you can see that your cider, sake, mead can really learn something from distilled spirits, and distilled spirits can really learn something from beer, and beer can really learn something from the wine industry, because they went through it.
Yeah, I think it's so amazing how all these industries, because I think it's so important for us to recognize that the challenge of one industry, whether it's regulations or whether it's how to get that message out, especially now, is most likely the challenge of at least another or all the industries. There's so much we all share in common.
Well, it's not, and it's more than that now, because this is, years before the Craft Beverage Modernization Act. I mean, prior to this, no one ever thought that the people could come together, these different verticals could come together and go up and try to get tax relief for the entire industry versus just beer, wine, or spirits. So it isn't very important that we work together, because there is so much strength in numbers. If you take all the breweries, if you just take breweries, distilleries, and wineries, that economic impact that you can go up and go to, you know, Capitol Hill and say, this is our economic impact and this is what we need. That's much more powerful together than it ever is separate.
It is very powerful. I've seen some really powerful relationships made, alliances made at your conference and expo. You've done a great job over the years, Kellie. And you've probably, even in, we would say 10, 15 years, in an incredible growth in craft spirits, craft whiskey. You've seen the last 7 years. What have you enjoyed about being a part of the growth of the industry, of the craft beverage industry?
I mean, and it's what you've said. It's watching these very dynamic, passionate companies grow, because they start out with an idea and they start out with a product, they start out with, and then over the years, just watching it change and develop, and the evolution of these brands. Because one of the things that we've always said was, wherever you are now in your evolution, wherever you want to be, is come here and we'll tell you where that is. So we've had these companies that come and they're in name only, and now they're selling, you know, 35,000 cases of gin. I mean, that's amazing to see. And we've seen 35,000 cases of gin get sold to these large companies. And, you know, we had one year in Santa Clara where our entire keynote panel was sold within 3 years, like the entire panel. So seeing that kind of change and that kind of evolution is really something to see.
Yeah, you know, it really is. It's amazing to think some of these craft brands that would have had no idea they would have sold and just grown, or just grown so much. They've grown in incredible ways. To see those sort of stories, I'm sure, is really rewarding, to know that you were a part of really bringing these people together and really seeing them from their infancy to the next stage. What are you, it's for, I mean, obviously we're looking forward to next October. We're looking forward to the virtual events again this week. You said, is it March is going to be the next one?
Yeah, so our next one, and I'll tell you all the dates, just so make sure I have it correct.
Again.
I just need, hold on.
We'll give you this Craft Beverage Expo website. Looks like December 2nd and 3rd is this week, and then is it March 9th and
March 9th and 10th, and June 21st and 22nd.
So it's going to be every several months we're going to be having this. That's the website to go to for these 3 virtual events. And again, you're going to gain so much. Use that code when you register. And if you're a producer and you just want to really, maybe Kellie's conference before, or maybe you've never been and you just want to, you know, step in and take a look. Take that first step and register just to come into the expo. And then if you like it, you know, come in for the rest of the week. I'll definitely be there checking it out. Always so many good people. I feel like this is going to be a great way to reconnect with a lot of people we haven't seen for a while, and hopefully hear how they're doing and find ways to help each other. As you look forward to the future, you know, especially beyond the pandemic, but no matter what are you most looking forward to about the future of craft beverages in general?
I mean, it's just growing so quickly that I am mostly looking forward to seeing. Well, I'm just mostly looking forward to seeing where everyone in the same room together, to be honest with you.
Right.
I mean, I know you asked for the big picture, but let's just all get into a room together. Like, that's what I want more than anything.
Yeah, that's so important. Donald Snyder had a similar question, and Donald, we appreciate all that he does in the world of spirits, was asking what you see. How do you see the craft world playing out in 2021? Do you think there'll be some new elements of craft that we'll see?
Ready to drink, RTD. I mean, RTD. That's massive. Yeah. That's what that's what everybody's doing right now. I mean, yeah. I not everyone's doing that, but I think that that's a really big market that the craft beverage industry in particular needs to jump into.
I completely agree. Just because it's in it, because I'm sure you can only imagine, if you see this behind me, the stuff that is laying on the table on this side of me, it's a bunch of different whiskeys and such. Our friends at Savage and Cook just sent us these this week. I think these are only in California, but this is an RTD called Homeschool. That it's called the Blood Orange Manhattan. So we're going to be seeing, this is beautiful, by the way. I tried this. It's a great RTD at 35% alcohol. We're going to see more and more RTDs. Obviously, we will continue to want to help support those bartenders, and hopefully more and more bars will be where we can go back or even take drinks to go from restaurants, bars, establishments. But the RTD, I do believe, will be big.
I mean, just based on everything that
Yeah.
I've seen, RTD is the 21 and 22 combined.
Yeah. And Donald, thank you. Donald's always so great to jump in and ask some great questions. Donald, please share this video. All of our spirits friends, if you're in the spirits business, whether it's craft, whether it's large, whatever it might be, please share this video and just take that link and share it too, because we want to see all of this grow for the industry. Definitely, no matter where you came from, if whether it was Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, you saw this and it started, you started in halfway through. This is going to be up permanently on all those channels. And also, if you're a podcast fan, we'll put this audio with Kellie up on our podcast channel, which is right there. It is. That's where I have to go. Anchor.fm/Bourbon Blog. Make sure you are subscribed to our podcast. And at some point, maybe I'll this week, just for fun, Kellie, I'll get some of the footage from 2 or 3 years ago of Craft Beverage Expo from YouTube on Bourbon Blog. I've had so many great experiences interviewing you and others there. So many fun people, whether it's our friend like Brad from Amarin Cork or other folks, Rhonda. I've had Rhonda on here a few times. That's actually how I originally met Rhonda there from her distillery there in Boston, was through your conference, and she makes just amazing stuff. There's so many people I've met at your conference. It's always been so special.
That's amazing. That really makes me happy. That's the whole point of it. Get out, get education, sell more product, and meet cool people.
And when you log on, just like Kellie and I are doing, and you enjoy these conferences this week, you can always have a little glass of something beside you, because
and it's
all right.
It's expected and encouraged to have a little glass of something when you go to Craft Beverage Expo. But I don't want to underestimate our trivia tournament on Wednesday at 3:45. Real Irish Trivia Pubmaster, $500 cash reward. So you win, you get $500.
Wow.
We're going to have some fun questions. It's going to be normal pub trivia. Time to put on your thinking caps and have fun with a bunch of people that do what you do.
And again, that's on Thursday?
That'll be on Wednesday.
On Wednesday?
Trivia is Wednesday.
At what time will it be again?
3:45.
Excellent. And
you have to be registered to participate. So you have to go to Craft Beverage Expo and register.
Great Irish trivia. Colleen McLeod Garner is, I know we talked briefly about women in craft earlier, but she was asking about women in craft. As we look forward to women in craft in 2021, what are we going to be seeing with the women in craft area?
It'll be different speakers, but a lot of the same idea where we wanted was we wanted you to leave inspired. So we want you to leave educated, and we want you to leave knowing more people than you knew coming in. So it'll be much of the same. We are working with Ginger Johnson again. I have a couple fun surprises that I'm not ready to announce, but very, very shortly we'll be able to announce. But if you went last year and enjoyed it, you're going to have the same sort of experience, because our whole idea is to put people in a room together that would not normally be in a room together, and see what comes out when you give them the right cues. Excellent.
And Ginger's so awesome, and so many other folks I met at Women in Craft last year, but I've been on Ginger's mailing list since then, and she's incredible. You brought some great people together for that, and so much to look forward to. And we'll have all kinds of fun. We'll learn all kinds of great information. We'll make some great connections through the Craft Beverage Expo, and then we'll all reunite in October 2021 in Louisville.
At the Convention Center.
And we'll just all say, hey, glad this pandemic's behind us, and we can be together. And glad you're in Louisville now, Kellie. It's great to have you.
We're Louisville full time. We will always be in Louisville. It's such a fantastic beverage community. It's got such rich history. It's really the perfect place for our event.
Absolutely.
And my favorite fun fact that I've learned since going to Louisville was that there is more bourbon barrels aging than there are people and horses in all of Kentucky.
It's incredible, and let's hope that just all continues to make sure we don't have any shortages, right? We at least don't have one barrel for ourselves.
Yes, we will not. I also think with my crystal ball, do not think that we'll have a bourbon shortage anytime soon.
Hopefully those in the past, and no, that's amazing. It's a great fun fact. What's your dog's name? It's a lovely looking dog there.
Oh,
What's your
she's
dog's name?
and she's a Whippador, and we adopted her today.
This is a brand new dog for you?
It's a brand new dog, and today was her adoption day. Yeah.
Wow, what a cool thing. And her name again is?
Her name is Xena.
Xena. Oh,
like the princess
wow.
warrior or warrior princess.
Wow. So what's it been like for the first day there?
So we fostered her for the last couple of weeks. So she's been here for about 2-3 weeks, and then today we decided to make it official and have her be part of our family.
Oh,
she has been absolutely the most fantastic dog you can ever get.
Congratulations to you. That's very exciting.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we're thrilled. We're thrilled that we got to bring her in. That's
very sweet. Well, it's so wonderful to have you here, Kellie, on Bourbon Blog Live, and I'm so glad that we'll be seeing you at the virtual conference this week. Again, craftbeverageexpo.com. Use that code CYBER. Come into all of it, experience all of it, share this with your friends in the business, and well done to you. We'll be seeing you later this week. Thanks to all who watched. Anything else that I didn't cover? I want to make sure I covered it all, Kellie. Is there anything else?
No, I think we're good. Use the word code CYBER. $74. You get all of this content. You get trivia night, and you get our 2 keynotes.
You use the code CYBER. You get all that, and amazing. Kellie, well done. Congrats on not only your virtual conference, but also adopting this dog this week. A lot of great news for you this week.
Thank you so much. Todd, it's always a pleasure.
Cheers, Kellie.
Cheers.
Wonderful.